So we talked about the benefits of using a secure tool. One thing I'm curious about is from a proposal leader's perspective, what are the risks that come with using a non-FedRAMP high authorized tool for your proposal capture and development?
I think that's a really good question. And the reason is that the risks are, the risk is concrete and it's immediate. If you're working on a contract that requires NIST 800-171 compliance, or if you're flowing down CMMC requirements, your entire supply chain, including your software tools, have to meet the standards for that.
Mm-hmm.
A proposal manager using a non-authorized AI tool to draft a proposal or a technical volume is simply introducing an uncontrolled data pathway to the entire workflow.
Yeah.
And we've talked a little bit about the sort of unintended consequences of such an action, but we know that they can be profound and existential. And, we know that now this is really not a theoretical problem. This is a problem that a company would have to contend with in a DCMA audit.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to show up in a cybersecurity assessment, and it's going to put your entire ability to execute or perform on that contract at risk.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I think this is something that really needs to be talked about more. And I want to be precise about what non-authorized means, because there's real confusion in the market.
Yeah.
A tool that's been assessed against FedRAMP high controls by a 3PAO, but doesn't carry an actual authorization, that's not authorized.
Yeah.
It might be well secured. The team might have done serious work, but from a compliance standpoint, your ISSO is looking at a vendor risk assessment, where the tool has no marketplace listing, no authorization chain, and no continuous monitoring obligation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a different conversation than handing them a package ID and a marketplace link at the high impact level.
Yeah. Yeah.
So beyond the compliance exposure, there's a practical leadership problem. You can't build a repeatable process around a tool your security team hasn't blessed. So you end up with individual contributors using whatever they can find, no standardization, no quality control, and your proposal manager has no visibility into what's actually happening. And even if the data you deal with now doesn't require FedRAMP high, you don't want to find yourself in a position where, you've limited yourself and locked yourself into a specific federal market, right?
Absolutely.
So you don't have the flexibility to move when the government may want you to move, or you might not have the flexibility to move when you decide that you want to move into a different market or do some adjacent work, things like that. So if you're pursuing DoD work, if you're working in ITAR controlled programs, if your prime operates in a GCC high environment, the tool you adopt today should be the tool that scales with your prime, your clients, and your growth objectives.
Yeah.
Right?
You want it to grow with you and not limit you.
Exactly.
Yeah.